But what did I fear most is like who is this guy? Who the is Rico? You don't know.
Why should they
Why
listen
should
to
I
Coach
listen to
Rico?
you?
Who is this guy?
That's what really has been growing in here, is that there's a lot of trainers or fitness trainers trying to become coaches. I don't say don't do it, but I would say take your time to learn the craft, learn the science, baby steps. Because if you try to jumpstart or go above and beyond as a coach, and like someone dissects your sauce, it's not that it's got some cream in it. You know, you have to really dig in the crates, do your boxing history. You know, really want it. If you really want to be a good instructor or be a good coach, you really have to study. Do your study, man. Watch some film. You know, if you've never really been a fighter and you know you're not gonna fight, watch some film. You know, great coaches out there, man. You know, that you could just learn from and not even be a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
We like to give really practical tips here. If we are talking to a beginner fitness coach that just started holding mitts, is there one fight that you recommend? Be like, you know what? I think if you watch this fight, you will get a really good, a way better idea as to what mitt work is about.
That's a good question. One fight.
What would you say, old or new?
I think I would just rather say new, because I think maybe for somebody that's new, it might be a little hard to fathom like different styles. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they would relate a little bit more if it was a newer, like in the last 10 years or so.
Okay.
I would say, you know what? I want to say it depends on the style, honestly. Depends on what you're trying to deliver.
Beginner style.
Beginner
like
style?
Just real, yeah. Because that's who we're talking to, right?
Oh, yeah. Real bland, like nothing crazy about it.
Yeah, nothing crazy, just to the point.
It happened not too long ago. Shakur versus Valdez. That was a math class. Shakur made that look easy. It was just basic stuff. On the jab, little step back, straight rights, uppercuts to the face on that pivot. Everything was just easy. Base, like nothing. It wasn't a brawl. It wasn't like I wouldn't say it was exciting. It was just straight to the point.
But for the people that are watching, that's what they want, right? They don't need fancy. They just need like, what are the basics, and like, what does it look like to execute that properly?
I would say, if you just wanted to learn, you got, I'd say that would be a good one to watch. Another one was Haney Camboso. Same
That's
thing.
a good one too.
It was just
straight. I got one. Callum Smith and Canelo. Y'all watch that one?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That one.
Okay. All right. So it was easy for Canelo. And he was dissecting him, and he was keeping it simple, and he was going jab cross up and down the body, working, chopping down the body, which is basic fundamentals of going your jab cross at the different levels, right? Feinting, you know. There's a lot of great fights out there, man. It's a loaded question, but very good one for sure.
Okay, next question. Now, because you are a consultant to some of these gyms on how to run their boxing fitness programs, what is the biggest challenge that you face when you are training these other fitness boxing trainers at these clubs?
The biggest challenge is that you get people that sign up or that want to do this, and, you know, whatever the case may be, they don't really want it. You know, you can hold mitts, you can tell them you can be the best hype man, instructor, whatever. But there's some people that really don't want it or don't want to be there. They're just like, oh my God, it's dealing with customers or clients that are lazy. They're straight up lazy, subconsciously lazy, and just lazy.
As trainers.
Don't want to learn.
As
and
trainers?
That's what's challenging to me, because for me, I can be like, all right, next. You know, but no, I have to be like, all right, no, you got it though. Come on, just give me some power, you know. But, you know, that's what's challenging to me, you know, kind of being nice about it, of their lack of wanting it. Because if they want it, if you know that they want it, then you can actually teach them, you know, like if they have passion for it, you know, if That's one thing about it. Is like, if you don't have passion or want to learn about it, it's hard for the other end. You know, that's the only challenge I think. Other than that, it's fun. You know, they like it.
You teach other trainers how to teach fitness boxing as well too, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. So when it comes to that, what is the biggest challenge that you're facing when you're teaching other trainers on how to work this fitness boxing system?
So look, I've hired professional boxers to instruct. And sometimes it's a miss. There are great fighters out there that can't instruct or coach, and there are great coaches out there that have never picked up a glove. You know what I'm saying? And it's really you have to want it. You have to do your digging. You know what I'm saying? For them, it's like also instructing has a voice. You have to have that voice. You know, you have to know how to instruct, how to empower someone. So it goes back to like what I tell my fighters. I can give you the sauce. I can give you this technique, this science, todo siempre sin crema, right? But I can't make you a fighter, you know? I can't give you heart. You got to bring that to the table. Same thing for these instructors, these coaches. You want to learn, you got to learn these. You got to learn the what you're teaching. You want to be called a coach, you got to learn that. You want to know how to instruct, you got to get on that mic. You got to practice. You got to be more likable. You got to be more energetic. You know, the struggle is sometimes you get people that have this but don't have that, but they really don't have this, you know, and it's like,
Let's make this a triangle, right? If this was a triangle, right? So we have skills at the top because that's what you need to start, right? Then you have energy and likability. Would you say that's a three triangle, like skills, energy, and likability?
Yeah, skills, energy, likability. Yeah, I like that. You know.
So if you said to become a successful fitness boxing trainer, obviously if you have three, then you're amazing, right? What are the two? If you had to choose two, what are the two you must have? If you had to leave one out,
I'll say go like this: knowledge and voice. Knowledge of what you're doing, what you're instructing. Have time, be prepared. That all falls under knowledge. Being prepared of what you're teaching, knowing that day or that whatever, and having a voice. Being able to translate that knowledge into reality with a command, right? Because if you have that voice, everybody ready to jump rope in 3, 2, go. You have that voice, right? You have that delivery. So I'd rather you have the knowledge and delivery. Then I don't give a if you don't like me. You might not like me, but you know what? You'll take my class until you get better. You know what I'm saying?
So for somebody who doesn't have that voice, is there something that they could do to actually practice that? Do you think that comes from confidence? Does that come from practice or both?
You know what's crazy is it comes from confidence, and it's knowing how to build your confidence. Now you're tapping into some psychological, emotional thing. Now you're taking that to another level. But it could be just stemmed from, hey, you know, you have to be confident. How do you get your confidence? Well, whatever it is, you get that confidence, you can do it, you know, and you better do it well to give you that confidence so you can do it with delivery and voice, you know.
Obviously, we only know ourselves the best, right? So speaking from your perspective, now, when you're stepping into a session or a class, what have you done in your personal career as a trainer to build your confidence?
Making sure I look the part, making sure like I study well. I know the material that I'm teaching that day, making sure that whatever's happening throughout life doesn't affect what I'm doing at that moment, because I'm dealing with 2 deaths and, you know, some other personal life things. But it doesn't change the fact that the show keeps going and that they need the leader to keep leading. So you have to know that and be strong enough to set all those aside and keep a smile and good energy and deliver how you deliver.
Wow, that's amazing advice. Yeah, because you're a pro, because you're not an amateur, right? Because if you're an amateur, you're going to let that get in the way. You're going to ruin your client's stage. You're not going to make a good class. You're going to slack 10 minutes, you know, in the front and the back, and they pay for an hour, but you really give them 50 minutes, right?
Don't be an amateur in a professional setting, you know, and treat one as such at every aspect.
As confident as you are as being this amazing coach and trainer, I have 2 last questions. When you first started training people, what were you most afraid of, or what were you most concerned about?
I guess when I first started training people, it was like my validation. It always goes to like validation. What do you know? What do you know? That's like when I first got out. Like I didn't tell anybody that I was blind. I kept sparring. I kept working my way up to like, oh shit, who's this guy? Sparring pros, you know, getting called for some good sparring, like, you know, doing what I can, building. And then as soon as I got the chance to get in some young fighters, you know, I build them. I build these fighters. and it's gone successfully. But what did I fear most is like who is this guy? Who the is Rico? You don't know.
Why should they
Why
listen
should
to
I
Coach
listen to
Rico?
you?
Who is this guy?
You know, and you really have to put in your work to know your worth and to really and it's gotta what you produce has to taste and it has to work. And for me, it's been working. I've been building fighters. I've been shaping women and children, and you know, whatever it is, with their fitness, with their weight, with their confidence. If they just want to learn, I have this lady named Kathy. You know, she's got the money to hire me every 3 days out of the week. You know, for an hour session. And she loves mitt work. She loves it. It's like I try to tell her more drills and stuff, but she loves the mitt work. So I consist of, you know, her program is a little bit of strength conditioning with a little bit of drills, and then we end it with mitt work. You know, she'd rather do mitt work all day, but you know, I tend to tell her, it's not all about mitts, man. You know, it's not all about mitts. Yeah, it could be amazing, but no, like today I had a great workout. Excuse my language. Great work with Coach Bruce and everybody over there at Champion Boxing in Maryland. Was with two pros in their training camp, and you know, I kept up. I did my thing, and none of it was mitt work. None of it was mitt work. It was all drilling. So, so this lady, my bad, I'm like all over the place. This lady is phenomenal. This lady is phenomenal, man. She pays for my mitt work and everything, but you know, she's great. I've made her to be looking like you know, fire, and she loves those long combos. You know, I give it to her if that's what she wants. But now
what's her
that
first
she
name?
has good form, Kathy.
Okay, Kathy Mayweather. Got it.
Yeah. And so she's learned the form, and she's really nice with it. And you know, one of these days I'll do like a little video. I'll post it. But yeah, man, like she's all about the mitt work, you know, and she's great at it. So it's like really you can build whatever you want, but just make sure it's a validated fundamental, you know.
Absolutely.
And you're teaching it right, you know. So if you have to slow it down, don't be afraid to slow it down, because I'd rather you slow it down, learn some things, maybe hire a coach, maybe go you know, go do some rounds, you know, with another boxing gym, you know your stuff, so that you don't get that feeling that you like, who the f- is you teaching me, you know. Slowly you have to earn your worth, and you know, at that moment you know your worth. And if you've been producing good boxing and it's been working, then keep doing it, but keep shaping it, because you have to know that you're still a student. You know, I'm still a student, even though I'm a teacher. I'm still a student forever, you know, and today I learned a lot of things, and every day I'll keep learning. So what I can say to them is, like, you know, at me, my first, I guess, worry was that people are going to be like, who's this guy coming out of prison? Who does he think he is? But I earned my respect. I earned my right, you know, my ways there into the gym. And then once I had fighters to fight for me, I let that build, because I had been working nonstop, 24/7, 7 days a week, all day, all hours, just to build and be where I'm at. And I didn't really have time for myself to keep investing in myself. And plus, my mission was already validated from when I was already in prison, that I came out here to serve and give back. That's what I've been doing. And, you know, who knows? Like I was talking to you, like my eye is healing. Like I'm still 30, you know, who knows? I'm forever going to be in the gym. You know, who knows? You might see my pro debut in a year. You know? I'm coming back. But nah, man. I'm like, for real, I just keep shaping and try to better myself for my Lions, for my trainees, for my clients. So I got to keep myself at Q, no matter if I'm going to get in that ring or not. We'll let God decide that, right? But for right now, my mission is to give back, but to keep being a student for them.
For the time's sake, I think we'll do this. I have one last question, and maybe Coach Oscar would have one last question, because I feel like we could talk on forever. Now, obviously, we do this to put food on the table for our family, right? And so when you're looking at the business side, are you looking at how can I market better so I could get more clients? Or are you looking at as I'm just getting so much better at serving my clients and my fighters that I'm making more money?
Good question. Go ahead, Coach Oscar, if you want to take a stab at that. But
yeah, I'm kind of in the mix. I wouldn't say, maybe like in between. You know what I mean? Because I feel like too many coaches in particular are too focused on trying to win the internet, and we forget about training our clientele. I mean, like the ones that we have already. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like if we, obviously, and this is on a business standpoint, right? If we want to make more money, we have to create more value. And we can't do that by giving the clients the exact same thing all the time. I mean, I grew up, in an amateur background and, competing. And our coach was always like on top of what we were doing. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we got to get this right. We got to get on that. You got to get on weight, everything. Your food's got to be good, everything. You know what I mean? And I feel like the way that, maybe I was raised in the sport is the same thing that I attempt to deliver with my clientele. You know what I mean? Like if I got someone that is looking funny, I'm like, hey man, you got to pick that side up, or you know what I mean? And I'll show you why. But it's those little details right there. That's all the stuff that we don't see online. Online it's just the fancy pad work. It gets the views, gets the likes, but that's about it. But when we're
honestly, that's not that hard to do, right?
It's all the details that matter. You know what I mean?
It's not that hard, but it's hard. To be honest with you, it's hard. I'm gonna give it to you right now. All right, you see a lot of these coaches, boxers, wannabe boxers, wannabe, amateurs. They're not amateurs. They're in that amateur realm of them even becoming an amateur for like years, right?
Yeah.
But they're over there posting crazy videos, mid-work, so they're investing all that. But then when it comes to actually giving it to them sin crema, that's when they'll get a little mixed up. So what I would say is don't invest too much on the external, because it's what's the internal what's going to last a longer time. Yeah. Okay? You see a lot of these people creating their pages and trying to grow. I look at them like, damn, that actually looks nice. I'm like, right. I'm like, that looks nice, but I'm like who, like, oh my, like, okay.
Like, who is this? Like, who is he? Who is she? Right?
Who is he? But and they think they want to be fighting when I know I'm in the DMB boxing. So it's like, I haven't seen you in the gym, like, okay, it's just fitness. Okay, that's cool. And you know what? I don't knock it, but I look at it. I'm like, damn, I have all those videos too of the sparring, of us training. I can chop and I can make fire. But unfortunately, I don't have time. My time is eternally with these lions actually in the gym sweating. You know what I'm saying? Actually getting work. You know what I mean? At most, at the end, we'll do like a picture of all of us. It's either before or after the fact, So build internally, not externally. As far as marketing, like for example, when I finally lock in this location, I'm not out there to look a commercial thing. I'm out there for like a little hole in the wall, pull up garage. People will know where to find me, and people today know where to find me all over the DMV. I got a call from Manassas' kid who was recommended by Sharon Kim from Headbangers. He's like, oh, you all the way out there?
Oh, Sharon Kim. I seen her around. Yeah,
Sharon Kim. So she's a fitness instructor, but she's actually in the gym with Headbangers with Coach Boo.
I seen that.
Yep. And she's actually getting her fight soon. So like, to hoots to her, she's been killing it. She's been doing it up. She's been working her way up, and she's at that level now. And I wish nothing but the best for Sharon. She's a great person, great person, great trainer, great coach, great fighter. I've seen her form. She's phenomenal. I can't wait to actually see her in there. And she recommended me to this guy. So the guy calls me, like, yeah, Sharon Kim gave me your info. I was like, oh, that's wonderful, man. You're all the way out here. Okay, so it's really not about where you at or where the post is, or 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers. Is at the end of the day, what's the core? Is the core really there? Is the core solid? Is your fundamental techniques really solid for you to maintain and for people to look for you? I don't care about no posts, even though I should start hiring someone and doing that, because it is smart for marketing. It is great for marketing.
Yeah. The way I see it, I think there is an intersection where your passion and your skills, because obviously it seems like you're really busy right now, Coach. But if there was a marketing component on top of that, I mean, like, more people will be able to know about what you can deliver, what you can offer them, and how you can make them more fit and confident, right? Yeah,
for sure. And that's where you have to be an all-around beast.
Businessman.
Beast, businessman, a great coach, businessman, likable. marketing, when you're networking and you know,
Yep.
with other coaches, you know, you have to that business side is like, for example, my business side of it was kind of like slow, but because I'm out there at all these different platforms and head coach to theirs, they got their own marketing team to put, oh, Coach Rico, la la la, you know. So I don't really got to do too much, but build internally, you know, and make sure that I come through with the correct, you know, sin crema, boxeo, siempre, you know, and try to learn yourself and keep sharpening yourself. Because like I said, I'm very young. I'm very young to coaching, even though
How old are you?
I've surpassed. I'm 30, you know.
Okay,
31.
so Coach Oscar and you are pretty similar to that. Pretty
Yeah.
young coaches.
27.
So
Must be big, yeah.
and young to coaching, just 4 years, you know, but I'm always gonna be learning. So it's like you are what you make it. And remember, you are the chef, so you have to do your research. You have to know the ingredients that you're coming through to create the masterpiece that you want for your style, for your fighters, for your clients. But make sure it's good. Make sure it tastes good. You feel me?
I feel like the sin crema needs to be a T-shirt. First off, that needs to be a T-shirt for sure.
For sure, for sure.
That
Sure.
definitely
I've
needs to
been
be a
making my
T-shirt.
slogan of like, yo, boxeo siempre sin crema, you know?
I like
And
that. I like
give
that.
it to you raw, man. Raw. Always have to be raw, man. You know, because at the end of the day, like for example, you go to Starbucks, you get the Frappuccino Mocha Loca with the extra double pump and the froth and all that, and then you taste it and it wants to wake you up, but then it's like you get sugar rush, and then it's like, nah, I just paid $9 for all this. It looked great, got all this great. It looked great, but did it do what I wanted it to do? No.
No, it actually put you to sleep.
Exactly. So you need to get that raw, hot coffee, black, sin crema, siempre. You know what I mean?
You said one thing that I really want to touch on before we finish, which is you said it's very important to you that you look the part, right? Can you elaborate on that? Because I think and I've fallen where I wasn't following that and my business was thinking. Kind of expand on why you think that is so important.
Okay.
As a fitness boxing trainer.
Nowadays, people are so shallow. Nowadays, people, you know, judge off your cover. Even though whatever those people are, you still gotta get yourself right, man. You know, in terms of your body, your physical appearance. If you're a boxing coach and you're fairly young, you better look the part. You know what I mean? That's telling me that you're lazy, that you're not getting your rounds in there. You know, I don't want to train with someone that has has no energy. It looks like he just, you know, came out of a donut shop. You know?
Yeah, you know what? I could relate to that though. I can see that because it's
you know,
like most young males, no ethic, man. Like, and I'm not saying everybody, but there is a lot of young males that have no like aspirations to get better in this. You know what I mean? And this is
for example, my bad to cut you off. It's just to piggyback on that. Like you'll take I've seen this happen already. They'll take me just because I look like, oh, young Rico looks still like a. I want to coach with him when they would have coached with Coach Bruce, who's an older, you know, older male, you know, not really in shape. But I would much rather be his student, not mine, because I'm still fairly young. You know what I'm saying? I still don't get me wrong, my style is nice. But I know I'm still young, and I would put him in a pedestal. But a young guy wouldn't really look for that, you know. So at the same time, you gotta put the effort in yourself too. You gotta be self-disciplined too. If your academy is called Lions Den Boxing Academy and you don't act the part, you might as well call it Cat Academy. You know what I'm saying? With a bunch of cats.
Cat.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, dog. I make sure everybody in my team is ace. We are like the small 300 of boxing DMV. Everybody can get some smoke. From me to my assistant coach to all my lions and amateurs and the 2 pros that I got. You know, like everybody is ready, war ready. You know what I mean? And that's how I want it to be. You look the part. That's what I think. Looking the part. Looking the part, playing the part, you know, you got to eat, breathe. That's what's really you're about. You have to figure yourself out. Know what you're cooking it and who you're cooking it to, you know?
And I think that's so important because, I mean, I'm a transformation coach. I don't coach fighters, but I coach for people how to turn their lives around by losing weight by way of boxing
course,
and strength
that's
training,
a
right?
blessing, man.
If I always found that when I'm not on top of my stuff, and even though I know the information that I am giving is right, there's a slight little doubt in the back of my mind. Oh, are they really going to listen to me? Because I know I'm not on top of my stuff, right? But when I'm on top of my stuff, I know even the way I deliver the same message to the same client gets amplified.
Yeah, it gets amplified. Not to mention true.
Yeah, I speak with a lot more confidence because I know that as a leader, I am leading by example.
Yeah.
And when I'm not, I start to like mentally, physically get smaller, right? So that's why, just like you said, Coach, I think it's so important that you are on top of yourself because they don't listen to what we say, they watch what we do, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. You know, they're more say they hear you, but then they also see you. So you got to make sure those are aligned. You know, parallel. You know what I'm saying? Because you are also you're their leader, right? So they're looking at you, and you have to. They're watching you behind your back too. You know, they're watching you what you do, aside from the sessions, aside from that. You know, so you are an example to them. So be a good example. You know, be that person that you want to do. And also, what's very important is that above all, know your worth, and also show some confidence. Confidence is key. It doesn't matter if they're fresh, if they're first new. You are confident to what you're doing, and if they don't like you, they don't respect you. On to the next one. Don't let dilute you or try to dismay you from becoming a better, great coach. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to even learn. You can just be like, keep it a band. Hey, yo, I've only been boxing 2 years, but you know what? I'm growing, and this thing is great. And let's have a good workout. Let's see how we do. You know, confidence. Boom.
I like
you deliver it. Boom. You know what I mean?
I like that.
And I like the passion. Honestly, I really do. You know what I mean? I feel like
he's got what he calls the voice, right? He's got that voice, but I think that just comes from the sin crema. You know what I mean?
He's got. It's just like it's like we said, it's hard, man. And you can tell when it's but you know, because they have like that little rigid eye. You know what I mean? It's just there, and you can see it. It's not something that you have to even display. It's very visible. You know what I mean? So I think right now I'm like I relate to him a little bit. You know what I mean? Because same thing. I'm like, you know, it's just like I like how he's explaining it. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff that I'm like, you know what, I can relate that because I feel like I've already been there at times.
And I think I think this is a very clear sign of a great coach, which is you're able to take complicated matters and simplify it into super understandable, like a third grader can understand what you're saying. And I think that's what Coach Rico's doing.
Of course.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and give it to yourself too, Ken, because you know I love seeing your work, man. You dissect it very well. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
I always recommend a couple. One of my fighters. Oh no way, you're with Fat Boy Shrink. No way. I've been watching this stuff for a long time. And I was like, yeah, man, it's good people, man. Awesome. So
and really, at the end of the day, I think what we are really trying to do is, I feel like I almost have goosebumps right now because I feel like we have such great chemistry right now, and everybody's super passionate, and we just want to grow an entire army of trainers that's going to help each other out. You know? Yeah. Because I think there's more than enough business for everybody to win.
Oh yeah, I mean we're all in different cities, and you know, I mean, I feel like we all kind of have like the same goal in mind, or at least very similar goals in mind. You know what I mean? And there's plenty. There's plenty. At the end of the day, like we can either sit there and bag on each other, or we can sit down and figure out what he's got something I like.
Yeah, man.
I got something he likes. Let's figure out how to make it. Put it together.
For sure, man. And that's truly what I believe, man. And this I want everybody to see this and hear this. Boxing is so cutthroat and so dirty, and within the trainers, and the way how coaches steal fighters, vice versa, or they talk shit about their training, and I've seen it all. I've witnessed it myself, and just you really have to represent good, man, and that will take you a far place. Because that's what I did, and that's what my mentor, Buddy Harrison, may his soul rest in peace, You know, a couple cowards stole his life last weekend. You know, and he was a great person in the boxing community, and it hurt everybody in the DMV boxing. Like, he was so well known. Much power to Dusty Hernandez. He's still fighting this Saturday, so he's still gonna fight, even though his dad is not gonna be in his corner. Represent good. Also show homage, pay homage to other trainers. Be humble to accept what they know, and even though if you think that you know more, humble yourself. It's all about learning, man. It's all about learning, or if not, teaching. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm a beast. I can end you if I wanted to, in my eyes, right? Anywhere, in form, the street, in the ring, whatever. But I don't go about it like that. I go about it very humble, man. I'm very in depth to my spirituality because of certain circumstances that I've put myself through, right? So this is what my number one motto is for the Lions Den Academy is be humble, be kind, but always be a beast. That's my motto. And it's like, you show humility, you are kind to others, but don't you ever get it twisted. You are that beast that you portray. So don't let anybody or anything get to you or overcome you. And that's that power and strength that's within you, right? That you have to uncover and unleash when necessary.
And you know what the funniest thing is? The most beastly of beasts I've ever met in my life are also the most nicest guys I've ever met in my life. Like, just including you two, right? I mean, you guys are beasts, but like, you guys are two of the nicest guys I know, right? So I feel like when you're a beast and you're mean, I'm like, that's not a true beast. That's not a true beast.
You know what? I think that comes from struggle, man. You know what I mean? Like, learning to be, humane, very humble. It comes from struggle. It comes from having very little to nothing, and finding a way out of that rut. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people would say it's very easy to give up. It's extremely easy to give up, but it's very hard to be put in a situation and get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? And I think for us, boxing kind of did that. It did for me for a very long time. Kept me out of trouble.
For sure.
Away from drugs. Like, I got a lot of homies that are not alive today. Gang violence, drugs, and I'm blessed every day to be able to do what I do. And you know what I mean. Boxing gave me that. You know what I mean? It's natural.
I mean, I went to go visit you yesterday, Coach Oscar. I went to Bakersfield to visit Coach Oscar to learn, some of the stuff that he's doing. It was a 4-hour round trip, but it didn't matter, right? Because I still want to learn, and I know Oscar's running such a great program. But the thing I thought about was Oscar was a construction worker, plumber, locksmith, Then he was a trainer, got fired. Then he was teaching in the parking lot of a park in the hot Bakersfield to having his own gym, right? Like, this gym is one of the sickest gyms I've ever been to, right? So
awesome.
That struggle right there, that is like, I always tell my girlfriend, like, man, like, Oscar is a freaking beast. Like, that's a true beast right there.
Salute to you, man. I'm on my way, man. I had ups and downs, but we out there. One thing about it all, in the base of it all, is that no matter what, you got to keep punching, because that's the fighter in us. And, that's what boxing is about, is like a great mentor of mine, man, told me that the ring is like life. It's like the square circle of life. And it is the way you portray it. You have to keep behind that jab. You have to know when to throw that jab. It's all chess play. And just like life. That's why, like, you are what you represent, a fighter, a boxer, a true warrior. You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's what we try. That's what we try to give. You feel me?
I mean, I feel like I've been at church for the last hour, but we got to land this plane. So, Coach Rico, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we leave?
No, man. Just grateful to be here. Honored to be here, man. Great session.
Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it all. Now, just more connections, more growth for everybody. And, God bless. Be kind, be humble. Always be that beast. And, study your craft, man. Because you always want to give it some crema. Tú sabes.
That's right. Woo! I can't wait for that T-shirt, by the way.
That's gonna stick.
Hey, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching, guys. This was an amazing episode. The value in this was incredible. And, our goal is to continue to grow this community of trainers that can help each other out, because Because we can all win together, baby. The more we serve, the more we win for everybody.
I like that. Everybody can win. Remember that. There's no reason to hate.
Everybody can win.
Everybody can win. I'm telling you.
That's right. That's right. I gotta say, Coach Rico really brought to fire. He's passionate. He's knowledgeable. We covered a lot of things, but I think the biggest takeaway here in this episode as a whole is the coach's triangle. So how do you create confidence and credibility for yourself as a fitness boxing coach? Now, on top of the triangle, there was knowledge. On the bottom left is voice, and on the bottom right is likability, right? And this could be left up to opinion, but according to Coach Rico, he believes that knowledge is number one and voice is number two. And if you like me, cool. If not, then so be it, right? And so I think this is a really good framework for a new beginning fitness boxing coach to look at. And my personal favorite of that triangle is the voice. This is a theme that continues to come up over and over because voice as a leader and as a teacher is very important when commanding attention. Okay? So I really hope you guys found this helpful. In the comments below, please leave us your favorite part of the coach's triangle. If we have delivered some value, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Boom!